Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So I have bought a cabinet, amp cabinet to be more specific, and I wanted to unbox it for you guys. So this is the orange PPC108, and essentially I bought it because I have this tiny little amp, which is a Vailton TAR20G guitar amp, and I was doing the amp sim out, which is like a headphone 3.5mm jack, into, I modded my piano to take an input for like an output jack, like a 3.5mm. And yeah, the speakers on the piano started crackling and giving me issues, which means they're starting to go. So pushing the amp, my audio interface from my computer and the piano itself into those speakers has definitely, taken its toll over the past few months. So I figured it's time I get something specifically for the guitar amp. And I will actually be updating the speakers in the piano as well so that they can handle at least the interface and piano. But yeah, let's go ahead and unbox it and see what there is. I ordered this on Sweetwater, but you can get it pretty much any music store. And I also ordered a speaker cable because I didn't have one lying around. So get this opened up and see how pretty the boxes are inside. So let's make sure you don't see my address because I'm not sure if it's going to be on any of this stuff. Nope. Okay. Beautiful. So there's the speaker cable. It's a Hosa Technology 3-foot speaker cable. Pretty simplistic. I wanted to get right angle cables, but I wasn't sure how deep the the socket would be for the input jack on the speaker, so I didn't end up doing that. Free candy, of course, because it's Sweetwater. Throw that to the side. And this is a lot tinier than I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting it to be like the size of the first box. That's okay. It doesn't have to be big. It actually has to fit on my piano because that's my desk, and I want it on top of the piano facing my face so I can monitor it properly. But there is the tiny PPC108 box. We'll go ahead and open this up too. Be careful not to cut the actual speaker. Well, not the speaker itself, but the cabinet. And there we go. All right. Oh my goodness, another box. Well, at least they took care to make sure it wasn't going to get damaged. No, it's not another box. It's just cardboard shielding. Excellent. All right, comes in a plastic bag. And then here it is. I ordered the black one because, well, that's all they had in stock. Oh. It came with a speaker cable. That's great. I'll have two now. That's fine. But yeah, I ordered black because that's all they had in stock, and I really needed something right away because I typically play my electric guitar when I'm teaching because it's a lot easier for my hands with the pain that I have in them. But I've been playing acoustic for about a week and a half now, and yeah, I'm happy that I can finally plug the electric in. I could have been using the electric still, but you wouldn't be able to hear it as well. So that's kind of what the thought process was. So now that I've got it unboxed, we'll go ahead and do a first impression once I get it plugged in and set up. Okay, so my initial thoughts on the speaker were it's going to be small and it's going to sound boxy. And I am correct. It is small and it sounds boxy. However, that being said, I had a Orange Crush 12, so it's a 12 watt amp, roughly the same size as the speaker. It might even be the same speaker inside. But that amp didn't drive as well. And now, just to be fair, the TAR20G does not drive hardly at all. Like, it sounds super thin and horrible if you try to push the gain and lower the volume. And if you push the volume, it started breaking up, as you noticed when I got harder on my chords. It does break up a little bit, kind of like a valve amp would, but definitely not as pretty sounding. Now, I do have, and I'll show you in a second, a Tone City Model M that pushes the gain on the amp while I have the gain on the amp actually set to 0. and that does a pretty good job of coming through and sounding a lot thicker. Now, it still sounds small, it still sounds boxy, but for someone who needs something extra portable, but likes to maybe swap out heads, it's totally a good option. I know that most people pair the Orange Terror with it, and I think that's probably a good idea too. But this is the amp I have, this is the amp I use, and it'll probably be the amp I use until I decide to sell it and buy something different. Not that I don't like it, I do like it, just, you know, keep that in mind. Whatever amp you put through it will change the sound a little bit, but it's always going to sound small and boxy. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that if you aren't willing to deal with that, you might want to decide on something bigger. You're not going to be blown away by this and be like, wow, it sounds like a 12-inch speaker or anything like that. It's there to output what you have and get the job done. But yeah, so let's go ahead and turn it back on. And there's that fun little pop that the veil tone does on every amp I've ever put into, which is probably why the piano speaker started going bad so fast. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Tone City, and I'm going to it's on the crunch channel at about 8 o'clock, and yeah, the volume's at about 6, and I have the boost off on it. So here is just a kind of more driven tone. Okay, turn that off. So that's clean. Again, if I start picking a little bit harder, it does break up a little bit, but not a lot. Maybe you could call that a blues tone if you really wanted to, but it's not really bad at all, which is impressive. The volume is about halfway up on the amp if I turn it all the way up. It still holds its clarity, which is great. But it does get a lot more honky in the louder strums. Okay, so that was chords that you've seen so far. So let's play a little just like melody riff. I'm going to start off on clean. Okay, here's a little bit of crunch. And here's a high gain setting. Alright guys, so that was the kind of unboxing, review, and demo of the Orange PPC108 and kind of my thoughts on it. I will do a more in-depth review on the TAR-20G mini amp as well. And of course, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.